Hello and welcome back to Bite-Sized Folklore, where real myths, legends and strange truths are told in under 10 minutes. I'm Jodie, and today's episode isn't just a ghost story or a tale whispered around fires. It's the real recorded confession of a woman accused of witchcraft in the Scottish Highlands all the way back in 1662. Her name was Isobel Gowdie. She lived near Aldern in Nairnshire, and what she said, under no torture, would leave behind some of the most vivid accounts of witchcraft and fairy belief in the entirety of Scottish history. This is her story. In the spring of 1662, Isobel Gowdie, a young woman, probably around early 30s, was brought before church authorities and confessed, freely and in extraordinary detail, to being a witch. Her confession came not under duress, not at the stake, but through 4 separate voluntary statements, all recorded in the local kirk session records. And what she described was astonishing. Isobel claimed that she and a group of women met regularly in secret covens. They danced, sang, and met with a figure she called the Black Man, a representation of the devil. But her accounts go far beyond standard witch trial tropes. She spoke of shape-shifting, saying that she could turn into a hare or a cat with charms. She spoke of flying through the air with magical incantations, and cursing crops and blessing others, and perhaps most uniquely, visiting the realm of the Fae. Isobel claimed to have entered the fairy hill of the Queen of Eltham, a realm where food never spoiled and time flowed differently. There, she spoke with fairies, danced and watched otherworldly banquets. To Isobel, the fairies were real, tangible, and part of her magical world. What makes Isobel's confession different from many other witch trials is that her worldview seems rooted in traditional Highland folk beliefs, not just the stereotypical devil worship narrative imposed by prosecutors. In the 17th century Scottish Highlands, people believed in second sight or clairvoyance, fairies, spirit charms, and protective magic. Witches were not always seen as purely evil. They were often healers, charmers, or even curse breakers. The line between folk healer and witch was often dangerously thin. Isobel's language suggests she practiced a kind of hedge magic, working at the boundary between this world and another. She called down spirits, knew protective chants, and described rites involving bones, herbs, and spoken charms. Whether you believe she made it up, experienced hallucinations, or was describing genuine inherited traditions, her testimony opens up a rare window into the vernacular magic of the Scottish Highlands. So what happened to Isobel Gowdie? Honestly, we don't know. There's actually no official record of her execution, which is unusual for a woman who confessed so freely and vividly to witchcraft. Some historians believe she was executed quietly, and others believe her confession may have saved her from death. But her words have lived on. They were rediscovered in the 20th century by folklorists and historians, and today she is studied, not just as a witchcraft suspect, but as a cultural witness. A woman who, for a brief moment, spoke aloud the hidden spiritual life of her time and place. Isobel Gowdie has become a symbol. For some, she is a victim of fear and patriarchy, For others, a priestess of a fading tradition. And for folklorists, she is a rare and precious voice. Her chants, her visions, her poetry of the unseen, they all come to us across the centuries, still strange, still wild, and very much still echoing. You've been listening to Bite-Sized Folklore. Today's story was based on the real confessions of Isobel Gowdie, recorded in 1662. If this tale moved you, or made you curious, consider reading more from the historical record, or even visiting the quiet hills near Nairn, where her story first took shape. Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and remember, some stories are not invented, they're remembered.